On the 6th of November, millions of Americans sat at the edge of their seats. They saw the presidential election results unfold. Donald Trump swept to a massive victory. For the first time in nearly 3 decades, the Republican Party swept all the 7 swing states: Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona.
Frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond.
All of them chose Trump as the United States saw a wave of red votes. Millions of Americans celebrated Trump's electoral sweep. And just when Trump delivered his victory speech, on the other side of the world, Xi Jinping made his move. Beijing snuck into the headlines once again. At its largest aviation exhibition ever, China unveiled 2 new fighter jets, the J-35A and the J-15T. China also showed its futuristic 6th generation fighter jet project. The 6th gen concept looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. But for now, it's nothing more than a dummy model. It has years to go before it becomes a reality. China holds its biggest airshow every 2 years. The exhibition is held in Zhuhai, a modern city in the southern Guangdong province. This year, it has attracted a crowd of nearly 350,000 enthusiasts. The Chinese Navy's aviation arm made its debut at this year's Zhuhai Airshow. China also unveiled its latest stealth fighter jet, the J-35A.
At the air show, China's Air Force will participate in the event in Zhuhai with a more open approach, demonstrating the charm of the Air Force in the new era. For the first time, we will display new equipment such as the HQ-19 surface-to-air missile system and a new attack reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicle. The J-35, a medium-sized stealth fighter, will also be showcased.
The Chinese J-35A has many physical similarities to the American F-35 stealth fighter. The United States has at multiple times claimed that Beijing has obtained classified and sensitive data from the F-35 program. However, China says it has not copied the jet and that the J-35A is entirely an original concept. With the J-35A now unveiled, China has become only the 2nd nation in the world to have 2 different types of stealth fighter jets, which are also made indigenously. The first is the J-20 Mighty Dragon, and now there's the J-35A.
The J-20 is a heavy-duty stealth fighter, while the J-35A is a mid-sized stealth combat plane with multiple roles. Therefore, the difference between them is that the J-20 is mainly used for air superiority combat missions, while the J-35 is mainly responsible for multiple tasks. For example, it can perform air superiority combat missions, as well as ground and sea assault missions, can perform a variety of tasks. Therefore, in the future, the J-20 and J-35 can carry out joint operations to seize air superiority and precise strikes on ground or sea targets. A combination of the 2 will play a very important role in securing air superiority.
The J-35 is a twin-engine multi-role combat aircraft. The aircraft has 2 variants, a carrier-based naval variant and a land-based variant for the Chinese Air Force. It has 6 external hardpoints for carrying weapons and 4 hardpoints in its internal bay. The aircraft can carry a payload of up to 8,000 kilograms and has a combat range of up to 1,200 kilometers. The prototype first took flight in 2012 and it's going to be commissioned this year as the Chinese Air Force marks its 75-year anniversary. The J-35 will become the first stealth fighter jet to be inducted by a country in just about a decade since it first took flight. China says it is confident that the aircraft will be a successful air dominance fighter, and the J-35A has already raised eyebrows. China's all-weather friend, Pakistan, says it will buy the Chinese stealth fighter jet. Pakistani media has reported that pilots from the Pakistan Air Force are already training in China on the J-35. Meanwhile, Egypt has shown interest too. Cairo is negotiating the costs and conditions with Beijing. The J-35A is expected to be inducted into the Chinese Air Force shortly. The naval variant will get its call next year and will begin operations from the newest aircraft carrier, the Fujian. The naval J-35 will have a catapult-assisted launch using the Fujian's electromagnetic catapult launch system, or EMALS. With this, China will become only the third country, after the US and France, to have catapult-assisted carrier-based operations, or CATOBAR. For now, the J-35A will be flown by just the Air Force, but that doesn't mean that China is neglecting its maritime air power. Because right after the J-35A was unveiled, the J-15T was also brought out from underneath the covers. The J-15T is the most modern variant of the maritime-capable J-15. Known as the Flying Shark, the J-15 derives its origins from the Sukhoi 33. When China bought a prototype of the aircraft from Ukraine back in the year 2001. Since then, China has copied and reverse engineered the aircraft, adding a modern radar, advanced tech and newer weapon systems, and rebranding the Sukhoi 33 to the J-15. However, the J-15T is the newest among the Flying Shark fleet. It has 5th generation avionics, and it's capable of conducting carrier-based operations using the catapult launch systems, which means that like the J-35A, the J-15T can also operate from China's latest aircraft carrier, the Fujian. However, it can also operate from the other two aircraft carriers, the Liaoning 1 and 2, which have the ski jump setup. The aircraft can carry an operational load of 7,000 kilograms and has a combat range of 1,200 kilometers. Its ability to perform carrier and land-based operations makes it highly versatile for the Chinese Navy. The J-15 was first inducted in the year 2013. However, the latest J-15T was inducted in October this year. It's now going to form the backbone of the Chinese Navy's fighter squadrons. Along with the new fighter jets, China put on a display with its J-20 stealth fighters and the J-10 Vigorous Dragon. China also displayed its latest Z-20 anti-submarine helicopter and its logistical backbone, the Y-20, and its YY-20 air-to-air refueling variant. But despite the massive Chinese display, it was Vladimir Putin's jets that stole the show. The Russian Knights put on a performance for the Chinese crowd. Putin's Sukhois tore through the skies over Zhuhai as they performed physics-defying maneuvers. Since the war in Ukraine began in 2022, Russia and China have gotten closer than ever. And this was particularly evident at the Zhuhai Airshow, as Russia sent its most advanced Sukhoi 57 stealth jet to China. The Sukhoi 57, also known as the Felon, is Russia's only stealth fighter jet. The aircraft took its first flight 14 years ago and has been in service since 2020. It can carry a payload of up to 10,000 kilograms and has a combat range of 1,200 kilometers. The Sukhoi 57 is also capable of multi-role operations, including aerial domination, land attack, and maritime strikes. And despite its low fleet strength, the Felon is arguably the most advanced fighter jet in the Russian Air Force. Russia sending its stealth fighter jet to China shows that the two countries have deepened their trust. Putin even says that he will support China's actions vis-à-vis Taiwan.
A lot is going on around Taiwan. Everyone formally acknowledges, yes, Taiwan is part of China. But in reality, it is acting in a completely different direction, provoking the situation towards escalation. What for? We do support China, and because of this, we believe that China is conducting a completely reasonable policy. And also because it is our ally. We have a very large trade turnover. We cooperate in the security sector.
Meanwhile, Putin's dear friend Xi Jinping says that ties between the two countries are at an all-time high.
Reflecting on the journey we embarked on, the China-Russia relations weathered through trying times, forged ahead despite challenges, and achieved a series of groundbreaking results.
While Americans were celebrating their democratic process, Donald Trump thanked voters for giving him a powerful mandate.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends in this incredible movement.
However, on that very same day, Putin and Xi put on a show of their own. Russia deployed its stealth fighter to China for the first time ever, and China unveiled its second stealth fighter aircraft. Putin and Xi are fast-tracking their no-limits friendship at supersonic speed. On the other side, Donald Trump is taking over the United States at a time when not only do they have a weak economy and weak borders, but also frail military posturing, as Uncle Sam continues to support a worried NATO. With the strong friendship between Putin and Xi growing, the next move is for Washington to make. Can Donald Trump make America great again?